Hi, Aquarius. My hearts, how are you? I hope well. Here we are, October readings. We're in Libra season, a time for you that is quite supportive, generally speaking. Another air sign energy with the sun there. But there's this interesting thing going on, which is the Venus retrograde this month. It's a big one. Everybody on a personal level feels this retrograde, and of course it affects everybody a little bit differently depending on where it retrogrades in your chart for you. It's interesting because it's retrograding in Scorpio and then it goes back into Libra. So for you, it's retrograding in your 10th house energy, the Scorpio energy, and then it moves back into your 9th house energy of Libra. This has a lot to do with your identity on the big front, on the big stage. 4 of Cups already popped out. Just for you, Aquarius, just for you. But there is Queen of Wands and the Moon. Ooh, we've got a lot going on already, Aquarius. Before I opened this reading, I felt so much like tenderness and softness for you all, and I felt all this this heart energy, exposure was the word that came up, and I'm feeling it right now. So if I'm a little bit funny during this reading, it's because I'm feeling that tenderness. Lovers. Okay. So, of course, Venus retrograde has the potential to bring people back from our past, bring up past patterns, past experiences, so that we can reconcile them and release them. Ace of Pentacles popped out. So there's a dualism going on, Aquarius, because on the one hand, I think there's a lot of forward motion for you. There's a lot of clarifying of your life vision and where you want to take your legacy next. A lot of clarity there. Then there's also this pulling back. 3 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. Wow. This pulling back, assessing, feeling sore points, feeling through losses that you might have had over the last year and a half, because Venus retrogrades only happen every 18 or 19 months. The last time a Venus retrograde happened, it was in March 2017 till mid-April 2017. Where have you had woundings? Where have you had losses? Where have you had shifts? And who you are now. It's all coming up. What fell? 9 of Cups. Okay. So, on the bottom of the deck, I have to show you, is the Strength card, is the Leo card. So there's a reflection going on there, right? There's a reflexive energy coming in here for you, and I think this is useful. You may be finding, this 4 of Cups already out of the gate, you may be finding that you don't feel like you're able to fully activate and engage at the hardcore level you may be feeling like you should be at right now, this month, the end of this year. You're trying to get in there. You want to have the last 3 months of this year just be an amazing series of events, and you just want to get it all done. There may be a feeling like you can't quite act on things the way that you want to act on things right out of the gate. And like you're being asked to pull back and look in, and pull back and look in, and pull back and look in. And like I said, with that Venus retrograde, it's affecting, your big vision, how you put yourself forward in the world, how you see yourself, your philosophy, the way you visualize your existence even. It's coming in here, and that does often have to do with relationships and the people we've loved in the past. So you may be finding you have to kind of comb over those and find peace with where you've had loss. Find peace with where you've had misunderstandings, or where you've had to make shifts that you didn't ever really want to make, right? There's a reconciliation going on there within you. I think it will be quite healing, but it also kind of takes your energy out of the hard-hitting external world for a moment. as you're kind of readjusting your world vision. You know, we have a new moon in Libra, your 9th house, on the, the 9th. And that new moon is a great time to settle into that Four of Cups energy, and rather than fight it, enjoy it. You know, because by the end of the month, we have a full moon in Taurus. And Taurus energy for you is always really interesting because this is 4th house energy. There's tension, you know, there's the moons are both highlighting for you this month these different aspects of yourself, your big world vision and your internal spaces. And that means you're having to kind of go through and comb through some details, because look at what's going on here. So we have that Four of Cups, that feeling of pullback, that feeling of assessment, that feeling like you can't quite launch all of your energy external into the full world yet. And then we have this going on. Now, some of you maybe have had a fire sign involved in this experience, in this loss, in this shift, in this change. And maybe, you know, this Queen of Wands can show up in so many different guises and forms. You know, she can be a coworker, she can be a relative, she can be definitely a lover, definitely a partner, definitely somebody you've been very close to. And I get the sense that this is somebody you have been extremely close to, somebody you've worked very close to. She kind of has her vision, right? This energy has a laser vision of where she's going. And sometimes that can be hard because this energy can diverge from you. And what's interesting about her, because you guys, as you know, Aquarians, as much as you are free spirits, you also have a vision of how you want things to go. You also have a vision of how you want to progress through the world into the next phase of your life. You also have an idea of what that looks like and what that feels like. You just do. And, you know, so when you have another strong energy like this, it can feel very frustrating. But the thing with this Queen of Wands is she's showing up here with the moon and then with the Lovers. So for some of you, this maybe you're reconnecting with somebody. Maybe you're getting some answers and some clarity with somebody who you've needed answers and clarity with. You know, Venus retrograde is always a little bit like sensitive time to start new relationships, dive right into big projects and relationships. It's kind of it's a good time to just take your time and parse through the details. That's what I will say when it comes to relating to others and to relating to your material world around you. But there's something about you making peace with an internal secret side of yourself that helps you connect better, though. That helps you connect better. So once again, if you've experienced loss, if you've experienced change, like loss of what you thought your identity in this world was, loss of a deep partnership, loss of a career or a direction that you were going in, loss of any of those things that feel very like they defined you at some point, helped pull your world together, and it was lost over the last year and a half, there's something going on with elements coming back to meet you to give you the answers you need so that you can move forward. But you can't skip this step. I think the more you try and avoid this kind of interaction that I'm seeing here with that moon Lovers energy and that Queen of Wands energy, the more you'll feel stuck here where you can't move. And that will be really frustrating for you, obviously. You like to have some movement. You like to have some progress. You like to get in there and get things done and moving and going. Let's do this. So for you, this is energy that can be extremely frustrating and a little bit tense. So we don't want to fight it. We don't want to fight this time because the answers are going to come to you, and they're answers that you need. These are answers you need. These are answers that have been waiting and haunting you for a while. Now, here's the thing. If you do that homework, if you take the time in Libra season to look at these things, to have even some difficult conversations, to journal a little bit extra, to pour over what are you doing and why you're doing it, and why were those losses so brutal for you, then I tell you what, when we hit Scorpio season, interestingly enough, the flow comes back to meet you. Ace of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. This is extremely fortuitous energy. As you can see, this isn't about challenge. This isn't about tearing you down. This isn't about forcing you to do something you don't want to do. In fact, what I'm seeing here is in making peace with any past losses, with any past versions of yourself, with any past lovers, past partners, past people you've let in close to your inner circle, which is a big deal when you let somebody close to you. You can make peace with that. And you can make peace with the fact that those losses are setting you up for this next thing. The thing is that you will see as you look back and as you kind of put the pieces together over the first 2 or 3 weeks of the month, that those losses, those things that did not work out, were setting you up for legacy building stuff. We're setting you up for success in a different package, in a different form than maybe you were expecting, than maybe you wanted, but setting you up for a package of beauty that you've always wanted. I mean, your ships are coming in, baby. Ace of Cups, Three of Pentacles is very much abundance coming to meet you. It's very much that sense of seeing where you're going next. You know, sometimes we're in the fog. Like with this Four of Cups, we're in the fog. You don't know where you're putting your next foot. You don't even know if you still have feet to put, spiritually, energetically speaking. Like, what do I do with this? And sometimes you see the big vision. And you see it because you have elements coming in to help you. You have the right conversations, the right contacts, the right next step shows up to meet you. And it helps you to see where you were meant to be heading all along. It helps you to put the puzzle together. Because I think sometimes the puzzle can be a little mystifying. Why did we have to go through certain experiences? Why did we have to go through certain losses? Why did we have to experience such bliss and then watch as it crumbled, or watch as it shifted, or watched as it faded into the sunset because it couldn't last forever? Why did those things come and go? Where did they fit into this big puzzle? I get the sense this month, Aquarius, that you are going to get a really nice click in there with that bigger picture for you in the process. And I think it's been missing. I think the understanding of that process and how it's been working with you has been missing a little bit. And you guys are like, okay, I'll roll with it. I can deal with it. Like, I can keep showing up and doing this stuff, but like, it would be nice to know why things happen the way they do. It'd be nice to understand why there are challenges here and here in my life, and why it's continued to be kind of mystifying to me. It would be nice to know why. I feel like you're going to get those answers. And those answers are going to help you guys to come to some kind of peace where you can build. Because here's the thing. Everything that happens this month for you guys, all the conversations, any old patterns, any old people popping up out of the woodwork. And old patterns can come up too. Old eating patterns, old health patterns, old sleeping patterns, old work patterns, old workaholic patterns, all of those things, any and all of those things could show up just depending on who you are and what your journey is. You may be finding you're re-engaging with some of those things. It's a little tricky. But what we're doing there is we're clicking these puzzle pieces into place so that you know you can let them go for good, so that you can build this legacy. Because you're realizing now that as you've been shifting and changing as a being, as this organic being, and you know, you guys with your air quality have that ability to move through the world in a different way. You've been moving toward this legacy building. You've been moving toward, much more. It's making me yawn. It's so exciting. It's making me yawn. You've been building toward a much more whole version of your life. But you couldn't have gotten to this 10 of Pentacles, this 9 of Cups energy without this journey before you. Now, yeah, some of you, maybe you are dealing with a Leo. Maybe a Leo is showing you something. They could be showing you how you've lost your path in the past. They could be showing you the potential of the future. Pay very close attention to the people who cross your path in October. Really listen to what they're saying and bringing to you. People will be mirroring back to you pretty profoundly. 9 of Wands. Another Leo energy. in this deck because I pulled a final card from my Cosmic Tarot to top off this discussion today. And, you know, the Nine of Wands in a lot of decks, it's about that world-weary warrior that survived a lot and come through to the end and can look back to the past and can see what he's experienced. And now it's the time to reconcile it all, right? Now is the time to know what those experiences were and still choose to look forward. This is also, in this deck, connected with Leo, as you can see. But the reason I think the Leo energy is coming up triply here for you is because, you know, Leo is your mirror energy. And so it doesn't have to be a Leo, though a lot of times this does happen. We hang out with our mirrors. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. But the people that are crossing your path, the people that you end up talking to, the people that end up calling you from the past or from the present or from whatever, are there to serve to help you click in these places. So just kind of pay attention. There's a synchronicity that I think is going to be with you, Aquarians, this month when it comes to the people who cross your paths that may be pretty surprising and very exciting. And I think will give you a lot of the information. If you're paying attention and you're listening in, I think you'll see you're getting the answers you've needed this whole time. I think you've been waiting for some answers for a little while. There's been a lot of questions. There's been a lot of fog. There's been a lot of like, okay, I'm making movement, but I'm not exactly sure what this is. There's been a lot of that. But now it's time for some answers to come in. But you needed to be ready for those answers because some of them might feel a little harsh. Some of them might feel a little bit cut and dry. Some of them might feel like definitive in a way that's kind of like, ooh. So, you know, you only want to hear those when it's time to hear those, if you know what I mean. So it's going to be an interesting month for you, Aquarians. Like I said, you might feel a little tender. You might need some time to just kind of go internal and check in with yourself and check in with your energy. Don't push too hard. Don't push yourselves too hard. Don't overextend where you don't need to. Also, just don't be overreactional. If somebody comes in with some information, take a deep breath and like kind of watch and pay attention. You guys are pretty good about that, kind of taking in the information, but you know, take it in, take a breath, take a beat, take a day, take an afternoon, and then get back to people if you're feeling some of that tenderness, because people could be hitting on tender points inside of you. However, everything that's coming in for you, the energy is all really positive because it's trying to mold you. The thing with October is it's a linchpin in the year. There's something about this Venus retrograde. It's kind of resetting the game board a little bit. And resetting the game board to be the game you want it to be, not just the game you feel like you've been put in that you have to play out. And so it's doing some really interesting things with reshuffling our perception of what matters and where we need to connect. So it's just interesting in general for everyone, and you guys are especially getting some interesting things going on with relationships. So I'm going to leave it at that. Please connect with me on my website or on Instagram at the SARAHTAROT. You can also check out my website at SARAHTAROT.com. I do private readings. I tend to book out about 6 to 8 weeks ahead of time. So you're going to want to just plan ahead if you want to work with me. I'd love to work with you and set up a session on my website. I'd love to talk with you. I'll leave all my info in the description box. I'm wearing PinkLune, as always, my rock, my solid girl. 15% off for my loves. I will see you in November for more of this interesting journey through the Venus retrograde. It's a pretty powerful, heavy-hitting month. It really is. So be gentle on yourselves. I love you, Scorpios. I mean, Aquarians, I'm so sorry. I just was talking to Scorpio before. Aquarius, I love you guys. You're so special. And now I know you're probably going to, like, give me a whole bunch of crap for accidentally saying Scorpio. But the relationship I have with you, Aquarians, is very special. It really has completely its own unique thing that I can't even express. I mean, the words, I lose my words when I think about you guys. You're my infinity symbol counterparts, and without you, this world, I mean, everything about it is so important to me. So I'm just going to throw that in there after my little slip up. I'm already feeling the Venus retrograde shadow phase, I have to say, and I can already see how powerful it's going to be. So I'm a little bit shaky myself right now as I'm checking in, especially with the fixed energy. There's a lot happening with fixed energy right now. It's kind of a tough one in some ways. So sorry I called you Scorpios. I'm not going to come with any more excuses. I said it. I didn't mean it. I love you all so much. I will see you in November. Take care of yourselves. I hope I see some of you out there in the world because we have the best time. And I'll see you soon.